Is Stockholm worth visiting? We spent 3 days in Sweden's capital city to try and find out. We had heard mixed reviews about Stockholm, so thought the only way to find out the truth would be to check it out for ourselves. We readied ourselves for a long weekend and did a heap of planning and research to make sure we hit all the highlight spots. From royal palaces to award-winning cocktail bars, let us show you how to have an amazing time in this colourful city.
We're about to go climb City Tower. We have the most amazing day for it and the views are meant to be incredible. I can't wait.
So excited. It's just an absolutely perfect day.
Let's go do it. Getting there. The lift takes you halfway up, but you have to walk the stairs for the rest of it. Almost there. Amazing views from the top of City Hall.
So pretty.
Next up, we are heading to probably the most famous building in Stockholm, the Royal Palace, for a guided tour.
The furnishings and detail in these rooms are just incredible. We just finished doing a tour of the palace and it was beautiful. The detail of the rooms inside were incredible.
Yeah, super worth going through the royal apartments. It was built in the 1700s and is super opulent.
Very.
The polar opposite of the Royal Palace, we're now heading to the modern cocktail bar Röda Huset to try some of their world-renowned and award-winning cocktails.
We've just finished up at the aptly named Röda Huset, which means red house.
I think we had 6 cocktails in total. They were all amazing. I can definitely see why this place has won so many awards for the best cocktails in Sweden. The Thai basil cocktail that this restaurant is absolutely famous for. We're looking around at all the tables and every single table pretty much has at least 2 or 3 on the table. It's nice, but after just coming from a super well-known cocktail restaurant that has won so many awards in Sweden for their cocktails, I don't know, they were better.
They were better?
Still nice, but yeah, they were better.
Okay.
So we just finished at the Asian post office and the food was incredible. I think the highlights were the lobster noodles, the fried dumplings, the broccoli, which was super surprising and we didn't even order it, they just brought it out accidentally, and the popcorn shrimp. I think those 4 on their own would be enough to fill up 2 people, but we over-ordered with everything else, but it was sensational. We need to stumble home now.
5 cocktails and a massive meal later.
That was a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
As Stockholm is actually made up of lots of different islands, the easiest and definitely the most beautiful way to get around is by ferry. Not only being super convenient by cutting straight across the water, the ferry gives you the opportunity to enjoy some incredible views of the colourful architecture of the historical city centre. This ferry ride was a highlight in of itself.
We hopped off the ferry and walked straight to the Vasa Museum just in time for its opening. This is one of Stockholm's most iconic attractions, and luckily we had pre-purchased our ticket, which meant we could skip the queue and spend some time enjoying the museum before the crowd started to build. I'm not usually one for maritime history, but the condition of this 17th century ship was astounding from when it sank on its maiden voyage.
So we've just finished up at the Vasa Museet and it was so cool.
So cool. Usually when you go to things like that, they're like complete rebuild replicas. This was 98% original, which is just insane to believe.
So it's this ship that was built by the royal family and it sunk on its maiden voyage. Was it 1,000 meters from shore?
Yeah, 1 kilometre and 1,000 meters from shore on its maiden voyage.
1628, and it's just so interesting, so well preserved. Just like the grandeur and the detail, incredible.
Just not well designed, I guess. It's 1,000 meters in. It was a little bit top heavy. It had a big gust of wind and sort of blew it over and it took on too much water and sank.
Very pretty though.
Keeping the Swedish history theme going strong, our next stop was Skansen, which is the world's oldest open-air museum. We really felt like we were stepping back in time, as the museum is a collection of traditional buildings and farmstead homes from across the country, dating back as far as the 18th century. This is a great place for families and kids too, because it's also a zoo where you can get up close and personal with native Scandinavian animals such as wolves, bears and reindeers. I think our favourite part was the impeccably manicured gardens, which had absolutely incredible views across the city. This place was huge though, so you definitely need at least half a day here.
We were yet to try the meatballs that Sweden are so famous for, and we thought what better place to try this traditional dish than at Stockholm's most famous and historic restaurant, Den Gyldene Freden. The restaurant almost closed in 1912 when famous artist Anders Zorn discovered this. He decided to buy the tavern himself to ensure it stayed running on the proviso that the meatballs will remain on the menu for eternity. We are so glad it stayed open, as these meatballs were delicious, and to be honest, the salmon might have been even better.
We got up bright and early to explore one of the most iconic districts of Stockholm, Stortorget. This is home to the oldest public square in the Old Town, and is where the tourists scramble to take photos of the super Instagrammable colourful medieval buildings. It would be so cool to come back here during Christmas, as this spot is home to one of the cutest Christmas markets in the world.
How gorgeous is this street? It's 9:30 in the morning and there's barely anyone around. It feels like we have the city to ourselves and gorgeous streets to stumble around.
So beautiful.
We left the old town and headed to the city centre to visit the Hallwyl Museum. Once the private residence of the very wealthy Hallwyl family, it is now a super impressive museum, showcasing the meticulously catalogued collection of fine art, furniture and everyday objects. The house on its own though is an architectural masterpiece. The lavish drawing rooms, grand halls gave us some serious house envy and a taste of what life was like for the Swedish elite.
One taste of the Swedish meatballs wasn't enough, so we stopped by Vau de Ville to have another taste. To be honest, this version may have been even better than the first and was the perfect little shopping break.
After the delicious meatballs, we headed to Prince Eugen's former home, which is now one of Sweden's most popular art museums, showcasing 20th century Nordic art, as well as some temporary exhibitions. With it being such a nice sunny day though, we were mainly there to see the flower and sculpture garden which surrounds the museum.
We're just taking a breath in the gardens of the Museum of Prince Eugen Waldemarsudde. I think.
I'll let you do the pronunciations because I'm terrible at them. But the mansion itself was really interesting to go through, but the highlight is definitely just strolling through the gardens, particularly on a spectacular, almost summer day like today.
It's situated right on the water, which makes it a perfect place to just chill for an hour or so. The museum, I could take or leave, but it's a gorgeous spot with some outdoor sculptures and really nice tulip garden.
It's lovely here.
Enjoying the sun and amazing views from this cocktail bar was such a great way to end our time in this amazing city. We're at a rooftop bar called Freya's. It's a great vibey place to come and enjoy some cool cocktails and amazing views. What more can you ask for on a sunny day in Stockholm?
It's so pretty behind you. Wow.
What about me? Why behind me? Aren't I pretty?
A little bit.
We absolutely loved our 3 days in this famous Scandinavian city. And whether you are single in your 20s or travelling with a family, there are some amazing activities on offer. It actually reminded us a lot of Copenhagen, so if you're keen to check out another Scandinavian city, make sure to watch that vlog now.